How many cultivation realms are there in the mortal realm? At what ages did HanLi reach each realm? Why is he considered a true genius? A continuous look at HanLi's cultivation years. At age 14, HanLi entered the Qi refinement stage, became a disciple of Dr. Mo, was used to cultivate in Xianxia Palace, and accidentally obtained the little 6 bottle. He discovered that it could accelerate the growth of spirit herbs, and with abundant resources compensated for his weak aptitude. In just 2 years, he advanced to the 6th layer of Qi refinement in Xianxia Palace, which led to his master's failure in the Holy War. Dr. Mo, his first master, was later defeated and had his soul seized by Shiloyan. At age 21, having reached the 11th layer of Qi refinement and encountering a bottleneck, he participated in the bloody trial to seek spirit herbs, by chance met Donghua, planted the root of affection, but then parted ways and later entered Huangfeng Valley under the Garden Division. At age 25, with the help of 18 Foundation Establishment pills, he successfully entered the Foundation Establishment stage, opened his own cave dwelling, and, because of offending Wang Chan, he was constantly pursued. At age 31, he broke through to mid-Foundation Establishment, obtained a snow spider egg, discovered bone-tempering techniques, acquired the broken Heaven Void Cauldron, and the 5 elements blood condensation pill. Later, he was manipulated by ancestor Linghu of Huangfeng Valley, and forced into marriage, and combined with the pursuit of Wang Chan. HanLi fled desperately for his life. At the moment of life and death, he escaped through a teleportation array. At age 51, he entered the chaotic Star Sea, later gained enlightenment and left the place of strife, discovered Haiyuan Island, where he secluded himself for several years, refining body and spirit. By chance, he raised gold-devouring beetles and created hundreds of puppets, gathered spirit herbs, and obtained hundreds of spirit pills, then returned to his cave to refine a large number of medicinal pills in preparation for core formation. At age 126, after 60 years of seclusion, he successfully advanced to the core formation stage. But because of helping the Miaoyan sect, he encountered Ling and others. On the way, he befriended Ming, became an elder of Miaoyan sect, obtained the heavenly lightning of repelling evil, and with the little 6 bottle cultivated 10,000-year thunder bamboo, forging his life-bound treasure, the azure bamboo cloud swarm swords. Later, seeking further opportunities, he entered the Heaven Void Hall through the broken Heaven Void Cauldron, confronted Ji Ying, exchanged for the 9-curve bell. But after the Blood Devil Pearl was exposed, he was forced deeper into the Heaven Void Hall, where he obtained the Jar de Rui and a heaven-mending pill. In the chaos, HanLi fought one-on-one with Xuangu and emerged superior. Xuangu perished in his own flames. At age 150, HanLi secluded himself to break through tribulation, cultivated advanced secret techniques, consumed the heaven-mending pill to improve his aptitude, the gold-devouring beetles mutated into 3-colored variants, slaughtered hundreds of Tier 6 and Tier 7 demon beasts, and advanced the azure bamboo cloud swarm swords to the 8th layer. At age 198, he mistakenly entered the cave of a great demon beast, encountered a 9th-grade wind beast couple, drank the crossing bridge wine, and broke through tribulation, was forced into conflicts with 3 demon sovereigns, and stole the thunder-devouring orb, enraging them. Pursued by Shifeng, he finally escaped through a sect teleportation array back to the inner seas. He met Yuan Yao, rescued her, and stood guard later, triggering great battles, drawing countless cultivators, including the first genius of the chaotic Star Sea, Wen Tianren. HanLi fought Wen Tianren for several days. Wen Tianren nearly perished, but then, when the ghost house appeared, all were sucked into the mysterious land where magic power was suppressed. HanLi, aided by Mei Ning, recovered his strength, fought again with Wen Tianren, and, relying on mortal martial techniques, completely slew him. After escaping the ghost house, accompanied by Ling on the left and Mei Ning on the right, he crossed the boundless sea and returned home to the southern heavenly region. At age 200, he bid farewell to Donghua, and Mei Ning left the dead spirit and joined the Luoyun sect. He forced his way into Fenglin territory, pursued to Snow Eagle Lake, was elevated by the royal army to be an artifact spirit, later participated in the sect Grand Assembly and won. He entered Luoyun sect's domain, maneuvering between righteous and demonic sects, obtained the Spirit Eye technique and Dingming pill, and prepared everything for core formation. At age 217, he advanced to the nascent soul stage, raised the azure bamboo cloud swarm swords to the 9th layer, refined before the orchid banquet, was appointed elder of Luoyun sect, manifested his life-bound divine ability, and began hunting down those responsible for annihilating the Fu family, finally slaying Wang Chan of the ghost spirit sect, his greatest enemy. At age 22, he attended the Tianmen auction and obtained ancient puppet arts. By chance, he encountered Luo Wanhe and learned that Donghua was to be married, hurried to Ye Yue's sect, infiltrated the grounds, reunited with Donghua, and pledged themselves for life together, killing their way out of Ye Yue's sect. HanLi obtained the mysterious heaven demon-slaying sword, helped Donghua break her heart demon, becoming an unprecedented nascent soul cultivator. When ancestor Linghu of Huangfeng Valley invited him to return, HanLi refused but promised to lend aid 3 times. Later, he represented Luoyun sect in the Huangshan War, slew twin fox demons, escaped from the Hua province elder, after which the great border war of the southern heavenly region erupted. HanLi fought for the Heavenly Tao Alliance, slew the Yinluo sect leader's wife, seized the original list and turned the tide, but completely offended Yinluo sect. After the truce, Donghua was cursed by the 4 great elders of Yinluo sect with a soul-sealing curse, making HanLi and Yinluo sect mortal enemies. He swore vengeance, slaughtered the 4 elders, rescued Donghua, obtained 600 million spirit stones, and continued cultivation. At age 252, HanLi advanced to mid-nascent soul stage, completely refined his treasures, began cultivating heavenly court arts, created a nascent soul-level puppet, and with his second nascent soul minister hurried to Great Jin. On the way through Molang Steppe, he obtained the lion beetle's evolution method, but because the lion beetle was exposed, he was pursued by corpse immortals, gravely injured, and fled. Later he used the Heaven Void Cauldron to refine a split body. After recovering, he participated in the Guaning Mansion treasure battle, obtained the Vajra barrier, and in a mysterious cellar obtained the Buddhist cultivation art, Buddha Saint Golden Body. He discovered it could combine with the profound Yin art to form a complete cultivation system, and from then on, his strength transformed. With mid-nascent soul power, he could leap realms. Later, he entered the Heaven Void Hall in search of the heaven-mending pill, encountered Old Devil Qian, fought evenly, temporarily allied, obtained the Tai Yin True Fire refined Guiling, later ambushed Old Devil Qian and seized the heaven-mending pill, subdued the 5 heart demons, but was trapped in Heaven Void Hall. At age 266, HanLi at Snow Lotus Mountain entered a life-or-death seclusion, consumed the heaven-mending pill, and refined countless treasures. At age 360, he advanced to late nascent soul, joined hands with Bing Feng to escape Heaven Void Hall, and learned there were high-level spirit mines in the chaotic Star Sea. He hurried there, obtained immense gains, witnessed Luo Ho battle the Kunpeng, profited by obtaining a Kunfish tendon, and his Windcloud sword gained immense enhancement, allowing him to fly 100,000 miles per day. He continued to Great Jin, slew the enemy Manhua, soul-searched Ji Ying, obtained the complete heaven-rending devil arts, and on return discovered top-grade spirit stones. Encountering Fengxin and King Jinjiang, enraging them, HanLi with a single strike slew King Jinjiang, took his inner core and dismantled his body as materials. He returned laden with spoils to the inner seas, once again rejected the furious nascent soul elders, who gifted him profound light technique, intending to make him stop forever at nascent soul, but HanLi, unaware, secluded again. At age 362, he began secluded cultivation to spirit transformation. At age 540, he failed, continued 50 more years, and failed again. He then traveled for relief. Half a year later, used 5 colored flames to spirit transformation, and failed again. Traveled through Great Jin, obtained Jezi space, refining methods. Sunfire returned to Luo Yun sect to seclude, spent 10 years refining Sunfire into Sunfire water, consumed it, and comprehended the first 2 layers of origin magnetic divine light. At age 550, he succeeded in the first layer, entered Jezi space for a deadly seclusion. After 200 years, completely refined, origin magnetic mountain found a breakthrough, consumed Mo Yun pill with top-grade spirit stones and 5 colored flames, and finally, after 500 years at age 885, he advanced to the spirit transformation stage. Later, at age 1430, he reached void refinement stage. He then entered Guanghan realm, where his main body and second nascent soul advanced to late void refinement. At age 1567, with the help of Black Oil Ice Flame, he broke through to body integration stage. 200 years later, he cultivated the myriad transformations body. Another 120 years later, advanced to mid-body integration. Half a year later, reached late body integration. At this time, HanLi was aged 2381. Not stopping there, at age 2468, he advanced to Great Ascension stage. From then on, unmatched in both realms, continued cultivating for 8,000 years, and at age 12532, he finally ascended to the Immortal realm.